You've probably been in a room where somebody has said something that you know is not true, and most people won't call it out. J.K. Rowling was like, I dissent, right? If you watch Curb Your Enthusiasm, one of the funny things about the Larry David series, which I love, even though he's a super left-wing liberal, is that he actually says a lot of what everybody else thinks. I think I have an element of that in my life. What J.K. Rowling did, though, is super rare. Men can become women. Oh, yeah, this is, good for you. You go, girl. She said, no, this is actually not true. And worse than that, it's actually anti-feminist. When you say a man can become a woman and the first flipping year he's a woman, he gets Woman of the Year? It's not even the first movie he was in. He's got a penis. He can't be the Woman of the Year. What are you chicks doing? You're crazy. A lot of women just went along with it. J.K. Rowling said, no, excuse me. This is not right. And this Emma Watson, Hermione Granger, for all of you out there who watched the movie, she's been going after J.K. Rowling for years now over these gender issues. And yesterday, J.K. Rowling woke up and she just said, I'm sorry, I'm going to end this bitch. And I got to read some of what she tweeted yesterday because this is 100% true. Last night when I was getting ready for bed, I turned to my wife. Her lights are out almost. I was like, did you see what J.K. Rowling said about Emma Watson? Wife's like, no, I didn't see it yet. And I was like, well, let me just read some of this for you. Because I went back last night before I was going to bed to reread this because it was so well said. And I just want to hit you with a couple of these segments. Emma Watson and her co-stars have every right to embrace gender identity ideology. This is the words of J.K. Rowling. Such beliefs are legally protected, and I wouldn't want to see any of them threatened with loss of work or violence or death because of them. But she says Emma and some of the other kids that grew up on the Harry Potter set have ripped her to shreds. And she says, years after they finished acting in Potter, they continue to assume the role of the de facto spokespeople for the world I created. Well, some of these sentences, are just, again, they continue to assume the role of de facto spokespeople for the world I created, says J.K. Rowling. I think she may have a future in writing. I think she may one day be able to make a decent living. This is J.K. Rowling continuing. When you've known people since they were 10 years old, it's hard to shake a certain protectiveness. Until quite recently, I hadn't managed to throw off the memory of children who needed to be gently coaxed through their dialogue in a big, scary film studio. For the past few years, I've repeatedly declined invitations from journalists to comment on Emma. I told the producers I didn't want her to be hounded as the result of anything I said. And then she continues. Emma asked someone to pass on a handwritten note from her to me, which contained the single sentence, I'm so sorry for what you're going through. She has my phone number. This was back when the death, rape, and torture threats against me were at their peak, at a time when my personal security measures had to be tightened considerably, and I was constantly worried for my family's safety. Emma had just publicly poured more petrol on the flames, yet thought a one-line expression of concern from her would reassure me of her fundamental sympathy and kindness. And then this paragraph, buckle up. Like other people who've never experienced adult life uncushioned by wealth and fame, Emma has so little experience of real life, she's ignorant of how ignorant she is. She'll never need a homeless shelter. She's never going to be placed on a mixed-sex public hospital ward. I'd be astounded if she's been in a high street changing room since childhood. Her public bathroom is single occupancy and comes with a security man standing guard outside the door. Has she had to strip off in a newly mixed sex changing room at a council run swimming pool? Is she ever likely to need a state run rape crisis center that refuses to guarantee an all female service? To find herself sharing a prison cell with a male rapist who's identified into the women's prison. I wasn't a multimillionaire at 14. I lived in poverty while writing the book that made Emma famous. I therefore understand from my own life experience what the trashing of women's rights in which Emma has so enthusiastically participated means to women and girls without her privileges. Adults can't expect to cozy up to an activist movement that regularly calls for a friend's assassination, then assert their right to the former friend's love as though the friend was in fact their mother. Emma is rightly free to disagree with me and indeed to discuss her feelings about me in public. But I have the same right, and I finally decided to exercise it. Holy crap. That thing has 58 million views right now on Twitter. And the reason I wanted to share it was twofold. One, we need more J.K. Rowlings, more people who are fearlessly willing to stand for what is right, particularly those of you out there, and this is directly addressed to you, who have the money and wherewithal to do so. Why are you such cowards? Having a will and a trust in place, definite must have. If you haven't yet created one or both, trustandwill.com is a website that allows you to do it online without having to find an attorney. Trust and Will makes the whole process a lot easier too. The result will give you peace of mind now and your surviving family members clarity in the future. The website to get started, save 20%, is trustandwill.com/clay. They're experts in creating personalized trust and wills that protect your legacy. Visit trustandwill.com/clay. You're going to feel better about having those in place for the benefit of your family and loved ones. I have a trust and a will in place. You should too. Trustandwill.com/clay.